Engine management components we're dealing with today here at the shop, or more specifically, throttle position sensors. You ever have one go on you? No? Well, if you haven't, what the hell are you watching this video for? Anyway, if you have had one go on you, you're probably going to notice your engine RPM is going to fluctuate quite frequently and quite erratically while sitting in park or neutral. Actually, it can even be very problemsome if you're actually in gear at a light. Yes, your car or truck might actually want to take off and your foot isn't even on the accelerator. And no, you don't want to do a burnout either. What we are dealing with here, if you are dealing with a Chrysler vehicle, you're more than likely going to get a code, a trouble code, a DTC of P0, powertrain control module, P0121, which actually quotes stating, quote, throttle position sensor voltage does not agree. Well, hey, guess what? I don't agree with it either. So we're going to change one here today. And here it is. Okay, very small device. $70 Canadian, give or take. We're going to unbox this unit in real time, and we're going to show you guys. You guys might not be dealing with a Chrysler vehicle, okay? You might be dealing with something totally different from what I'm dealing with here. So you might have a different setup. Basically, more or less, your throttle position sensor is located on the throttle body unit. Okay, not far from where your throttle plates are. In fact, actually, it is located right in proximity where your throttle plates are. So, anyway, this is the unit here. Okay, very straightforward. 2 bolts to hold the unit in. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's a Sunday afternoon. I just finished painting a few panels over at the body shop, so my memory is kind of slim right now. That, and I've had a little bit of a liquid encouragement. The shaft of where the throttle plates actually bolt up, the shaft will actually slide right in between these notches here. I'll show you in a minute once I actually get the old one out of the assembly. And I'll be able to better describe myself of what I'm talking about, but that's where that lines up, is with those notches on your new throttle body, or your new T.P.S. sensor. Inside the kit, when you unbox it, you're going to have a new gasket, and then there is an O-ring in here as well. Okay, very straightforward, and you actually get 2 new Torx bolts. Very weird. Okay, well, they're very generous. And also inside the box, you are going to find yourself a little instruction sheet too. Okay, very straightforward. You might have a little bit of a mini heart attack when you see the words 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee. All right, don't worry about that. As long as it says your engine somewhere located there, it does not matter what it says. We are dealing with an 02 Dodge Ram Dakota. Anyway, so you're going to find a little pamphlet in here as well. Nothing to panic about. So we're going to go ahead. We are dealing with Torx bolts, so I'm going to go and get the proper Torx bit, and we're going to go ahead and remove the unit from the throttle body assembly. And we're going to change one of these, delete the code, and see how the engine performs afterwards. Alright, lads and lassies, T20 Torx bit on a nut driver. We'll be just fine. You don't want to tackle this unit up here. This is your IAC motor. You don't want to touch that. So this guy here. All right. So, oh, a little tight. All right. Well, we got her. Thought maybe I'd have to switch over to the ratchet, but no, I did get it. It might have been sitting in there since factory, so it's hard to say. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and undo these 2 fasteners. Alright, and one on the opposite side. I really don't understand why they'd come with new fasteners, but some do, some don't. Actually, I'm actually quite surprised that this new T.P.S. sensor actually came with a new one. It's actually quite rare to see that. But nonetheless, you have it. If you do have new fasteners, go ahead and use them. So I'm going to go ahead and undo the other one right now. And I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I haven't removed the wire harness just yet. I will get to that in just a moment. I'll get to that once I actually remove the T.P.S. sensor from the throttle body unit. and go ahead and pop them off. And there we have our old one. Okay, very straightforward stuff. Very easy too, like there's absolutely nothing to it. Alright, now if we're taking a look at the wire harness itself, I'm just taking a quick gander here. Trying to find a clip. I'm not finding one. Okay, there's a tab here. Let's see if I can remove it. There we go, look at that. So right here, if you just depress on this guy right here and just give it a tug, alright, just like so, you can actually hear a click. Hear that? Okay, so it's locked into place. You just have to depress on this little pin and out it comes. So very straightforward. Inside the unit, this is our shaft here that I was talking about. Okay, it's there. Alright, inside is also an O-ring. You might be able to catch that with your finger. If not, a flathead screwdriver will suffice. And just remove the old O-ring and from the throttle body unit. Okay, so there's your old O-ring. You're going to want to use the new one. It does come with a new one, and also comes with a new gasket as well, so you're going to want to use that as well. So go ahead and open this bag. We're going to install our new unit, and basically it's just that simple. 10-minute job, literally, not even. Okay, so I took a piece of paper towel and just cleaned up around where the O-ring was actually seated. Another thing too, real quick, when you remove your old one, your old T.P.S. sensor, there may or may not be a gasket there. So anyway, like this kit does provide a gasket and a new O-ring. You will get a new O-ring, that's for sure. So yeah, use the gasket too if you do have one provided, and definitely use the new O-ring. If you remove your T.P.S. sensor and there wasn't an O-ring there, but you do find that there is in fact a groove where the O-ring is can actually be seated, you definitely want to use the O-ring. So anyway, here's the components. There's your shaft. This is on the opposite side of the shaft is your throttle plate, of course. So you know what I'm saying, like right, this moves. Okay. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and install our new one. We're gonna go ahead and open this bag. I'm going to install the gasket on our new T.P.S. sensor, and I'm going to go ahead and insert the O-ring into that groove there. Okay, so installing our T.P.S. sensor now. I have the T.P.S. sensor over the throttle shaft. And my O-rings and gaskets are not binding or anything like that. Now I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and use the old fasteners. I found out that the new fasteners that came with it are actually in fact still in the separate bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the old ones. You know, it did come with new bolts, but I'm just going to label the baggie of what it is and just set it aside somewhere. I really don't see there being any point in replacing it with new fasteners, even though it did come with it. So, you know, I'll put them in my spare parts drawer, and that way, you know, if I do have another Chrysler vehicle with the same engine, I do have bolts if needed. So I'm just going to go ahead and tighten them down in sequence, kind of like you're changing a tire, you know, go from one bolt to the other and just kind of snug them up. And then I'm going to go ahead and install my wire harness until it clicks. Okay. Alright, got it upside down, just like so. Perfect. Heard the little click. That's what we want. Give these guys another little torquing just to make sure that they are tight. Good enough. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my diagnostic tool. I'm going to remove... There was actually no DTC set because I did originally erase it. But I did drive the truck for a few miles and noticed that the code never came back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it, just double check and make sure that it doesn't come back or anything like that. And go ahead and start the truck and see how she runs. And here it is. So I'm just going to run my diagnostic scanner, and I have my doubts. The service light didn't come back on after the few miles. I didn't drive it far though. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double check before I start the engine. Okay, key on. The engine was actually, you know, idling very erratically. So we're going to go ahead and plug in my diagnostic connector. Okay, this is where it usually is located on any vehicle too, not only just Dodge. Located with, oh look at that, we got the green light anyway, so obviously there's absolutely nothing at fault with my particular vehicle. We got the green light, so you know, yeah, there's absolutely no codes set. My engine management system is functioning properly. My emission control system is functioning the way it should, so which is what I want. So anybody who's curious, you know, if you might have, maybe you're a relative of yours bought yourself one of these, you know, just as a Christmas gift or whatnot. You can get these at any auto parts store. But if you do have one and you're not sure on how to use it, what you do is, see, right now it's telling me that it's been on too long. What you do is you really just plug it into a diagnostic port, which is located right usually underneath the dash. Okay, usually right here, with any vehicle, GM, Ford. These particular diagnostic probes, they don't really work on Ford vehicles. They really don't. Even previous OBD1 systems, they really didn't work with them. So just keep that in mind. If you have a Ford vehicle, don't get your hopes up that this is going to work properly for you. So right now it's reading the system. It might take a minute, and I got the green light. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with my engine management system. My emission control system is functioning the way it should. So, which is good. So when I start this vehicle, the engine should run perfect. But anyway, like back to this, most diagnostic ports are located right here, okay, underneath the dash. It's like that for all vehicles, not just Chrysler or GM. They are all located there, but if you do happen to have one of these, or maybe your aunt and uncle gave you one for a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, and you happen to own a Ford vehicle, don't expect this to work for your Ford, okay? Even today, they didn't work. With Ford vehicles, you kind of really need a special scanner for that, and yeah, so yeah, it's just the way it is, unfortunately. You know, hate to bust all you Ford nuts out there. You know, I imagine a lot of you guys are saying, well, why won't it work for my truck? You know, I just bought this brand new truck and now I can't use my diagnostic scanner that Aunt Betty gave me for freaking Thanksgiving. Hey, that's just the way it is, man. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. When you start your engine, you'll be all systems go. No more idling erratically. Usually that's what will happen. If your engine is idling erratically at a red light, or actually even when you first start in the morning, it may take a big rev and rev up to about 3 grand and stay there for a while, and you're thinking it should be idling down. This is usually a sign of a T.P.S. sensor gone bad. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care of yourselves. Have yourselves a nice long weekend.